Cheers.
Sure.
Summer. We love when we have a true girly pop on the podcast, a real friend.
We like to hear it.
Okay, so a lot of people know we're friends. A lot of people, I guess, want to know how we met. But we have Summer Pardi here with us. She is, in her own right, fabulous, hot as fuck. Literally, so many people asked, so many people asked in the thing, like, what are her secrets to being as hot as she is? I was like, I think because I see you all the time with and without makeup on, like, she's just so fucking beautiful. Like, she just really is. So I don't think she has a secret. I think she just exists. And we fucking hate her for it.
Oh, well,
We do.
know, it's
Burn her. Burn her at the stakes.
let's do it.
So how we met, how did we meet?
I think from Beck. I think
From Beck.
you were hanging out with Beck, or you guys were somewhere, and Beck was like, "You have to fucking meet Shannon," and I was like, "Yes,
You're like, I didn't see her on Instagram. Yes.
I'm all for it." And then I think when you came out to the house for the first time,
That might have been it. I was like low-key nervous. I was like, being
hey,
invited,
I want to come to our house.
be invited to the
Stranger
farm.
danger.
Do you want to come to our house? I'm like, where's your trough? Okay, so Summer's married to John Pardi. So John Pardi, if you're not a country girly pop, like we are, a little country mouse in the city, then, also the last person I had on my podcast, Makeup by Kellyanne.
Yes.
She messaged me and she goes, what did you call me in the podcast? A Southern rat? I was like, a country mouse. What the
Southern
fuck?
rat? That's a compliment.
I was like,
The finest of compliments.
I was like, close,
Fucking Southern rat.
but no fucking cigar.
Hey.
She's from Texas. So anyways, we were talking about that. Okay, so Beck, so our friend who's, speaking of makeup artist, an incredible
Yes.
makeup artist. She is like, literally hands down makes my face look so much better than it is. We catfish
honestly unreal.
so many people when she does our makeup. We have to have her on the podcast too because we just catfish people with her.
John
It's
calls it the 7-layer bean dip.
the 7
It
layers.
is in fact 7 layers of pure
Makeup.
amazingness.
It is pure amazingness, but yeah, we be looking different, which we love. It's nice to just feel fully glammed.
It
I
is.
feel like. But okay, so sorry, Summer is married to a country music star, superstar, legend, John Pardi. We love him. We honestly should have brought his bitch
I
ass.
would have.
She said I couldn't pull him off the tractor. I said, damn.
He bush hogging today.
I said, what's he bush hogging? She's like, our land. So they live on a farm. How did we met through Beck? Okay, and
We
then
did. We met through Beck.
I came to your beautiful land. They have.
Was it for a Yellowstone?
Was that the first time? That was the first time
Was
I came
it?
to your house. Yeah. Okay. So huge
Cowboy
Yellowstone
crack,
fans.
Yellowstone.
Cowboy crack. Oh my gosh. I already have so many things.
things.
I'm like bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. Party plates. We'll get to there. Okay. So basically, we are huge fans of Yellowstone. I didn't watch 1883. Did you?
I didn't.
I watched
started
one
it.
episode. Couldn't get into it.
Beck was like,
Beck
"You
would
have
kill
to
us."
watch it. It's so
She was
good."
crying.
I'm like,
She kept crying.
yeah.
I
couldn't
just couldn't get into it.
I don't like
Okay.
it.
I know. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that because people were obsessed with it, but I just couldn't
If Kevin
personally.
Costner was in it, I maybe would have liked
Daddy, send Zaddy in and we're watching.
it. Oh, man.
Also, if you ever roll up on Summer, you better fucking, you're about to get some serious indentions in your face.
I'm doing like Johnny Depp style.
I like it. Did you watch the trial?
I've been keeping up,
You've been keeping up
waiting
with the Depps.
for the verdict.
It's still not out. The verdict's not out. This episode's actually going to air in 2 weeks, so we won't.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be out by then. I mean, I think
hope.
obviously Team fucking Johnny. I don't want to
Team
speak
Johnny
too
all day.
soon, but
Probably
like,
gonna get hate for that too. But
I mean, Team. No one should be abusing anyone, but like,
Right.
From what I've seen,
I mean, if you're gonna, call people out, then you be calling out
think-
yourself too.
yeah, I think the
fair
whole
game.
relationship's like pretty obviously tumultuous with both of them. But I will say, I think she'd be lying.
She is lying.
She's lying.
She liar.
She lying.
So yeah, Team Johnny.
So yeah, it was Yellowstone. We went to Summer's house. They live on the beautiful land. I'm like, how much can I say or not say? I'm like, its address is,
If you can look up the GPS coordinates, it's right here.
but it's just beautiful. Like you roll up to it, and it's like this beautiful, obviously land in Tennessee, and we're in like Nashville proper, so there ain't much land around here. And if it is, it's like
Chick-fil-A.
$5 million overpriced, or you're at Chick-fil-A. Okay, and even they don't have. You can even eat inside in Chick-fil-A here. Bullshit. So we went out to her house. We just had a fabulous time. We watched Yellowstone. At some point, I think we were like doing target practice with like fun random things in the distance.
Yep.
Like I just really enjoyed my time there, and it was just fun. It was just some good old
it's a good
Southern
time.
country fun.
It's always a good
And The hot tub. Also, John was in a
Oh.
particularly good mood
Yes.
that night and was like serving us.
He was pool boy.
Pool boy.
I've never seen that before.
I was like, oh my God,
I've
your
never
life
seen that
rules.
before.
And you were like, he doesn't do
John's
this.
like king of the hot tub. Like he wants the hot tub every day.
he does.
And that night he was like, I'll just give you guys drinks. I'm good. I don't need to get
we
in.
were
I'm
like, bottoms up, pool boy John.
okay.
Oh, card.
All right, sign me up. That was fun.
So we love to go out to the farm. I just have a good time. We ride around in the, what are they called? Side by side? Can-Ams.
Can-Am.
And I just feel
like Kawasaki Can-Am or something. I don't know.
Kawasaki Can-Ams.
I have
and
no
I
idea.
just
It's probably totally the wrong name, but
every Southern person actually listening to this is like, bitch, you ain't right. We're like, oh, fuck, sorry. We're just a country mouse. You are
it's
Southern
a
rat.
vehicle. It is road legal, but it's not a car.
I wanted one for,
I remember you were posting about it.
yeah,
You're
well,
trying to find one.
and people were like, bruh, what do you want that for? And I was like, the couple times it snows in Nashville,
To get
how
to
fun would
Chick-fil-A?
that be? Just a
Yeah.
Didn't you
I mean,
have a
they're
story
good.
where you like almost flipped one time?
Yeah, we were with Caitlin and Kane on our property.
Caitlin
and it
Kane
was
Brown,
snowing.
another country music artist for those who are not country girly pops.
Yes. Caitlin and Kane, good friends. We had they have some fancy Can-Am type thing, or side by side, I think is what theirs actually called.
Uh-huh.
But they drove it over from their house, and we went on the back 40, and John thought it'd be funny to drive down this really steep hill because he's always in control, I will say, but you can't control the snow and like a little ice patch. And
Oh, no.
Caitlin, Kane, and Beck were in their little vehicle, and we're rolling down this hill, and we start flipping sideways.
No.
And I'm like, motherfucker, stop it right now. And then we're like rolling backwards, and you can't stop it. There's no brake on that. At that point, you're like, and I'm like, Caitlin and Beck's on my face, and they're like, we were so scared.
Beck retells a story, and she's like, I've never been more scared in my life.
I'll never forget Summer's face. And I was so fucking mad. I was like, we are going home right now.
We're like, we just got these
John's
teeth
like,
done.
babe, it's fine. It's fine. It's fun. I'm in control. And I'm like, you are not in control.
You are not in
You are
control.
not. God is in control today, and Mother Nature.
Mother Nature and God are in control. He's like,
So,
relax.
I made him take me home, and I made drinks, heavy drinks after that.
We said drink. So one of my favorite things about summer that we do when you're on tour, which we'll talk about when you go on tour with your
Bus forward.
the bus board, baby. I message Summer all the time. I'm like such a sleuth on Instagram. Like if I follow you and my friend, I respond to maybe every story. I can't help it.
Okay.
I just stay on my phone. My screen time's always like, you are dead at this point. Get off your
You
phone.
have maxed your screen time for life. Please
I'm
stop.
like, can I turn that off? Surely, right?
I don't.
It's worse
would
when
hope.
I'm around someone and it pops up and someone goes like,
Yeah,
like, and I'm like, oh, no, I don't look at it.
Yeah, I think my phone just telling me I'm a horrible human being.
Mine
and not
literally says
interacting.
12 hours. I'm a horrible human
There
being.
should be a way
An
to
option. Yeah,
set
I don't
for
want to see that shit.
No, that's negative.
It's just, I don't need that kind of energy in my
No.
life. I saw this
No.
TikTok the other day that was like, hi, my name's Ashley and this is what I spend in a weekend. I actually have no idea because that's bad energy and I'm not looking into it. I was like,
Me with Postmates last week.
yes. She was just
Yeah.
giving me the rundown of all the different fast foods. Listen, sometimes you be there. Sometimes you just need to be eating fast food after fast food. I was in Spain and I literally did not stop eating this thing called patatas bravas. Holy shit. Just potatoes and cheese.
Oh well,
Just-
sign me up, please. Yes.
Potatoes and cheese. I'm like, we love it. So there's something, an iconic phrase that Summer uses often. It's called the bus pour. And that is when you are on the tour bus and you get a pour that is suitable for being on the bus. And
Yeah.
it's a larger pour than most. Some might call it a
stiff.
quadruple.
It's stiff.
It's
Bus life, man.
it's bus life. So Summer grew up in California and so did John, which I always forget that about John.
I know.
You give me such Cali Barbie vibes and I'm like, he really does just seem like such a cowboy. I know there can be cowboys in
Yeah.
California, but like
Oh yeah.
every time I'm like, oh yeah, you're from California too. So how did you guys meet? Because not in California, right?
No. So we grew up 3 hours apart. He's Northern California. I'm Central, but it's all primarily like ag land, a lot of farming in the
Yeah.
valley. It's not like LA, San Diego. It's
What part of California is it?
Clovis, Fresno.
Fresno.
So
okay.
Fresno is what I always say, but I grew up in the foothills of Clovis. And I grew up on property my whole life with a bunch of
Yeah.
animals, and it was a fun life. It was a great, like, you go out and catch tadpoles and shit.
Yeah, I mean that was my life growing up.
Like-
Your parents' home,
pretty.
like, oh, it's just
I
like how,
know.
what they have the most exotic animals too.
Everything.
Everything. So that was your life. You grew up like that. And did John as well grow up in the farm
He
life?
grew up
3
Yeah,
hours.
he grew up like in Dixon. Winters or Dixon? I always forget.
Dixon
but
sounds country.
Dixon.
Dixon,
Good old
baby.
Dixon County. Now his mom's in YOLO.
YOLO
County. But Dixon,
happens
Winters,
there,
YOLO.
baby?
I'm like, every time we go to her house, we pass the street sign that says YOLO. I'm like,
We are
But-
so old. Like, kids somewhere like,
Hashtag YOLO.
shut up.
oh my God.
Imagine people that got like YOLO tattoos.
Oh.
At least we didn't do that. You
That's-
only live once.
No,
No
yeah,
regrets.
No
None.
regret. We just watched that.
That is such a funny. Meet the Millers, right?
Yes.
That
We're-
movie is
we're the-
iconic.
Meet the Mil-
Oh,
we are the Millers.
we're the Millers.
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's hilarious.
Hilarious. God.
But
Okay, so he grew
so
up.
he grew
similar.
up country, whatever. We both grew up country.
Did he sing his whole life?
He'd been singing since he was like 4.
Wow.
His
oh my
grandma
God.
got, the videos are so freaking
He's
cute.
Walmart
of like
boy.
little baby John. He's like bopping around with a
Stop.
baseball bat as a guitar and he's singing, but he like full like shaking hips singing, and I'm like, damn dude, I was the most like introverted child. I'm like,
Cute. I feel like John can be introverted sometimes. Like sometimes he really does just like watch back and observe. And I'm like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
What are you thinking under that 10-gallon
Yeah.
hat? What are you thinking?
typically like 90% of the time he's like front and center spotlight, hilarious,
He is so
man of
funny.
the hour. But there is that little
I feel like people don't realize how funny you are. You're not like, you're 100% yourself on social media, but I also know that you don't post every living, breathing thing you do like I do. And I sometimes wish people could just like certain moments. I'm like, because Summer is so fucking funny.
I feel like sometimes I have personality.
You have a personality all the time,
Sometimes
but
I get a little vibe, try to get a better personality.
we're like, drink up, cheers. bitch.
So yeah, what I
Cheers.
was saying was, yeah.
So
no.
you guys met in California?
No, so I've done hair for 15 or something years now.
Hair looks great, by the way.
Thank you. I took my extensions out for a break.
Oh,
It's a sad day, but
same.
you know, yeah, I'm gonna go all natural.
Do you like my natural
Shannon.
hair?
I fucking love it.
You do really?
Yeah.
We're channeling Spain.
I do.
Wait, oh my gosh, how funny. You're on the podcast right now, and it's actually out of order with the way we're filming, but the next person coming in is Marissa.
Oh really?
2 hairstylists. Oh my God.
I've
Wow,
only
okay.
actually met her like once or twice. I think once with you,
Yes.
and
okay.
once passing into a facial place.
Okay.
We're like, we know each other.
We know each other. We both do hair.
Like,
we're
we're
incredible.
Instagram friends.
I love it. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
But
you.
no, so one of my longtime clients and one of John's mom's like childhood lifelong girlfriends.
Whoa, okay.
So-
love.
They both grew up north, and then my client Ellen moved to Fresno for a job or whatever it may be. And she had been my client for a couple years. Well, they remained friends.
Yeah.
And John had like these psycho ex-girlfriend.
Oh, no.
And I had all these fucking loser ex-boyfriends, and I had been single for a good minute. Like
And everything comes out in that hair chair, baby. You
damn
doing someone else's
man,
hair?
it's coming out.
That's therapy.
God.
I would say free, but you paying for it.
Yeah, you're definitely paying for it. But I have multiple licenses.
Yeah, multiple
hair
licenses.
therapist, psychiatrist.
It's a hard word to say, the licenses.
Licenses,
Especially with our fucking
licenses?
teeth.
Smell Texas.
Small Texas, we love you guys.
So long story short, Ellen had mentioned me to John's mom, Shelly, and then went on the Instagram and found pictures and sent John pictures because John was obviously not in Dixon at this point. He was in Nashville. He'd been living
And you were
there for,
still in
like-
California.
I was still in Fresno. He's been in Tennessee for like 10 years at this point.
Did y'all go on a blind date?
We kind of went on a blind date.
Stop.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, like I got a text from my mom with your picture, and I looked at it for a few days, and I'm like, yeah, she's really pretty.
A few days.
I was like, wow, you're so romantic. Let me please meet you. And my client like left out details. Like
what?
she had called me, left me this voicemail, which I might still have it. And it's like, hey, Summer, it's Ellen. I have a guy that I want you to meet. Great family. He's in California, small town country boy. He's tall because like
He is tall.
I'm not like, a
You're
giant, but
tall.
I'm tall. I'm like
You are very tall. How tall are you? 5'10"?
5'9".
I think you're 5'10".
5'9" with Pilates.
She's 5'10". 5'9" with Pilates.
And she's like, he's 6'4". So she's selling me this guy that sounds like this dream guy, and I'm like, where has he been? Because I had horrible relationships, loser, like
And how old are you at this point? Do you care if I ask? I feel like
27.
Okay, people were asking me in some of the questions when I said, like, what should we ask summer? They're like, talk about being single. Also, I'm like, you're 27, I'm 28. They were like, how did she do it? I'm like, fucking ask me. What the fuck? Loser.
Hey, 27 at this point. But like you, like I was an independent, successful, like,
Yeah,
boss
you had your
bitch.
own shit going. Yeah.
You don't need no man.
We don't need no man. We want a man.
It'd be nice, but
It would be nice to have a man.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. At that point, I had just built my second home next to my best friend, and she was engaged, and we both had little mini doodles.
Cute.
And we tore down the fencing between our houses, and we had this compound. And I was like, "This is fucking life."
Wait, literally, that's
This
what I want
is
to do.
magic.
I want to move near y'all's farm and literally
Yeah.
have a compound.
I mean, that's what I told John for that back 40. I'm like, we build a neighborhood
yes.
for our people only. Like we have
You can't
a
get in.
main kitchen house where we cook, and then everyone goes back home to their little.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we'll be like that TikTok thing right now going on Mom Talk.
what's that?
We won't fuck each other though.
Yeah, we I'll be doing that.
Have you not seen this? It's like the,
No.
the Mormons in Utah. They're
Oh,
like, producer Courtney, have you seen
God.
this? We had the same TikTok cue. Damn it. She's saying no. Okay, I'm alone here. It's called, anyone listening to this is going to know what I'm talking about. It's called Mom Talk.
I'm gonna have to Google this.
I'm going to
later.
send you Mom Talk. It's like Mormon moms that like all were soft swingers. Okay, this is really off base. Back to
So,
the compound that we're not
let it
fucking
be
in.
known that if we build this compound, we are all just friends. We are not swinging.
We're not
That
fucking.
was one of the questions.
That was-
like open relationship.
That was.
I'm like,
no.
I'm a little too selfish, a little bit psycho. I'm not sharing.
A little too
Okay.
selfish and a lot psycho.
We draw the line. There's a hard line. There's a permanent fucking Sharpie times 10, like the big Sharpie. There's a line.
Big Sharpie, fat Sharpie. Okay,
I
so
keep venturing off. This is how we met.
this is literally
Sorry.
my life, and people respond to my stories all the time, or my podcast all the time. They're like, "Hey, I love you, but like, shut the fuck up and stop
can't.
interrupting people." I'm like, "You guys, we're not always interrupting. We're just getting sidetracked." And sometimes stories
It'll come
are
back.
if we kept to the bullet points, this podcast would be 20 minutes, and then you guys would yell at me for that. Okay, when we get sidetracked, they're fun, long episodes. Okay,
Yeah.
so yes, I interrupt people, but also the episode with Kellyanne, which I need to be completely transparent. I was so violently hungover that I took an Adderall,
Oh.
and it should be against the rules for me to take an Adderall before the podcast. So I'm like,
Yeah.
and it's
No,
bad.
I wouldn't.
It's bad.
wouldn't-
Anyways,
I
I
don't wanna see
text
what
Kelly as I do, and I apologize.
So sorry. We'll do it again.
And she literally, I'm like, I'll have you again.
2023.
She was so nice. She was like, I got a couple I'm like mortified. She's like, I got a couple DMs where people were telling me you interrupt me the whole time. She was like,
Oh,
I sent them
well.
back voice memos being like, we were so excited to be there together. We were just talking. I was like, Kelly, I love you. You do not have to defend me. I was
No.
on Adderall. I definitely interrupted you.
Let it be known.
Let it be known that if Shannon takes 5 milligrams of Adderall, which is all I take, my body's like, boom!
No.
Like literally, it's all like people are like, how much Adderall do you take when you take it? I'm like, first of all, I'm not prescribed. So, oh no, let's not talk about me doing unprescribed drugs on this podcast. Oh heavens to Betsy, call the police. Yeah. So for some reason, like I can talk about doing ecstasy at a festival, and people are like, you're fucking crazy. And if I'm like, yeah, I took an Adderall because I was hungover, people are like, sick. That's how she stays so skinny. I'm like, okay. Relax, Linda. Relax.
Yeah.
Reddit.
Fucking
Okay,
Adderall.
so yeah, we will sidetrack, and it's like a cul-de-sac. It's like the compound we're gonna live on.
Yes.
We're gonna
just
make our way
Open around to the houses.
back around. We're just open house shopping through all of these
Yeah.
topics.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
you put the fence down with the golden doodles. You were living your life. You had your shit
Yes.
going, and then
Like
enter
had
John.
my I was on my I was on my 5th year. I'd opened up my hair salon when I was 21, going on 22.
That's incredible.
I thought it was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking
Also,
cool.
sorry for the F word 19 times. I thought.
Could you
have you said it?
Who are you apologizing to? Oh my god, if you're
Not you guys. but
these
you.
people, the people listening to this, listen to me all the time. I literally say
Noted.
fuck every 2 seconds. Like too much. Okay.
Sorry,
oh my gosh.
God.
Sorry. Sometimes if you're listening to this and you're like driving or whatever, and so that's why you're listening, not watching. I swear the YouTube people will be like, the random pauses, long pauses are because you're making the funniest faces where I'm like. So
Yeah.
you guys give it a
Yes.
whirl just watching on
Yes.
YouTube. So no, please say fuck.
So I will continue to say the F word.
The F word.
The fuck word. I thought it was fucking cool. I mean, I'd been doing hair since I was fresh out of, even before I graduated high school. I was like assisting. I was working in design and marketing in our family business.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. But I always knew I wanted to do hair. My dad's like, you need to get a business degree, blah, blah. And I'm like, fair, but no. Like,
understood, but no.
I'm like, please don't waste your money on that because I can't, like, read a textbook.
You know what is crazy? Like we're like basically the same age. Like when we were exiting high school to go to college, it was not, you're very smart to be like, I'll never use that. Don't waste your money. Because I don't use obviously my degree that I never even got because I dropped out as a junior because I moved to Nashville and started drinking alcohol. But like, oops, sorry, mom and dad. Actually, why would I say sorry, mom and dad? I paid my student loans. Okay. No, I paid them. But it's funny because it wasn't an option. And it wasn't even like my parents forced me, but they would have certainly been I'm very impressed that you were like, don't waste your money. I'm not going to use it. Because a lot of parents will be like, it's not about going to college. A lot of parents during our age, which we're not ancient, but like, I feel like nowadays it's so normal for them to be like, college isn't your path. That's fine. Do X, Y, Z, do a trade, do
it's like
whatever.
Praised now.
Yeah. So like, I'm very impressed that at 21 or 20, whatever age you were like, don't waste your money. Like, I don't
like
need this.
Full on 18. I went to one day community college just to like show my dad that I tried.
I hated school.
And I was like,
what? No, see, I hated
school.
school.
I sat there drawing like the little
money sign.
Yes. Like the little S thing. And I'm like, cool, bro. Like,
we're like on our folders.
Couldn't tell you what the class was that I went to because I literally walked out probably 45 minutes in and I'm like, yeah, this is a no for me.
Yeah,
but
I'm not going to do it. Well, but I'm just very impressed with that because that's just like was not a thing to do when we were. So but it put you ahead too because I mean, and if you're listening to this and you're young, I'm hoping not too young because we say the F word. But I just think it goes to show that nowadays like you just don't have to do that.
No,
you got ahead so much faster by being like you said you were already assisting in like doing apprenticeships when you were 21.
Yeah, 18.
18. Oh, sorry, 18, and then you got your own salon at 21, right?
So, and it just point being, I was at a young age where I was successful. I was, obviously wanting to find love.
Yeah.
Without being on The Bachelor and Bachelorette.
We're like, I want to find love without going on a TV show.
I at one point had my client anonymously, she didn't ask me, she anonymously submitted me for The Bachelor.
Oh.
And I'm like,
that really does happen. I love it because a lot of people on The Bachelor are like, my sister submitted me. I had no idea. I'm like, really?
I'm like,
but that actually happened to you?
And everyone in my life, whether it be clients, family, friends, they're like, we just don't see you living in Fresno forever. And I'm like,
really?
Well, I'm never gonna leave. Like I'm so close to my family, and you're like this.
Totally, yeah.
So
you're the same. Our moms have the same name actually as well, Sharon.
So I was like, that's cool, but unless you're gonna bring someone into Fresno, like I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
I never went away to college. I never moved out for a year, to a different city or whatever. And so
I mean, I miss my family. I talk about it all the time. People that live so close to their family, I'm like, you guys take that shit for fucking granted. Yeah. Like I've lost so much time, like with my, I mean, I'm not to get deep here, but like I'm fucking miss my family every single day. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Like you go from having family dinner just a couple times a week and being able to pop over whenever you want.
Taylor's like, and yours is California. I mean, Taylor talks about her mom living far away in Birmingham. I'm like, it's 3 hours. I would go home for lunch. I would go home for lunch.
Yes. Yeah, it's hard, but it's like, I was never going to leave. So the fact that literally I got set up on this blind date-ish thing with John, which he had texted me, also ladies, this is very important. He texted me the day that he was in my hometown. Okay. He's like, hey, this is John Pardi. I'm playing the Save Mart Center tonight with Dierks Bentley. Want to meet you if you want to bring some girls.
Were your roots done? Did you have a spray tan? I'm like, I have so many questions.
So, buddy.
What time?
It was probably like midday. I was in Vegas at the XS pool party thing with a bunch of friends and a guy that they were trying to like set me up with.
Damn, where are my friends at? Summer?
So I get this text and I'm like, cool. Well, I'm actually not home. But also like maybe you should do this a few days in advance so that you can make plans. Like
queen shit. So you didn't go home. I thought you were about to be like, I wasn't prepared. I didn't have a spray tan, blah, blah, blah.
No, I was in Vegas like at the pool party getting hammered. And I remember I sent him a picture, like we were all in this little cabana thing and I'm like, hey. Sorry, you're not gonna meet me tonight.
Sorry, you can't meet me tonight.
But don't mind us. So then he was like, well, I really wanted to meet you. And I'm going to be in Denver next week for 2 nights. Can I fly you out? And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Damn.
But
I keep being wrong.
it's like, let's go. But granted, this was also 5 years ago. So I'm
You're
like,
killing it,
and
dude.
I was never like an outgoing person. Like,
So I'm laughing.
I don't know. It's a whole slew of things.
You're
but
like everything a girl should be, and I'm not. I'm like, yes,
I'm like,
queen.
so
You're like, ew, I don't know him. I'm like, right. No,
Gross.
yeah, right. For sure that.
But I'm like, and then I have in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't like you picture this whole thing of a musician, artist, celebrity, whatever title you want to call it. But I'm like, no, that's like sex, drugs, rock and roll, groupie hoes. I don't want to deal with that shit. Like, I want like a 9 to 5, works at Wells Fargo. We're gonna have 3 kids by 25.
It's so funny because I say stuff like that
But
sometimes, and I
no.
just don't think that's gonna end up being my life.
No.
After my ex and I broke up, I literally said, I was like, I need a man in finance, or I need a man that's like a lawyer that has a stable job. If it lets me be me, it's like, okay, what is this fucking random shit you're coming up with, you
Right.
weirdo? That's not gonna happen.
Like, would you have fun with that? No, probably not. There's
Yeah.
something for everybody.
No, totally. We talk about this all the time. No shade to anyone that
Yeah.
has a corporate job. I just don't know why I got fixated on that. Kind of like you
Because
said.
it's safe. It's like a safe.
Yeah.
You know.
And I was like fixated on that for a second. But
Yeah.
it's just interesting because
It's-
you're like sex,
it's
drugs, and rock and roll and
secure,
groupies. I'm like, I'm a John Party groupie.
The ultimate groupie.
I really low-key
We got our
am.
redhead.
Yo, like honestly, sometimes when we'll be backstage, I'll be like, be cool. But I'll be like filming it. I'm just like, do. And then I'm like, be cool. But like, it's
love it.
cool.
It is. It
It's
is
just like
cool.
really exciting that
It's
I
definitely not the
and he's
life
so talented
that I ever envisioned for myself. Like, I was that safe zone routine.
Yeah.
Living with my best friend and her husband, and I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
Like, I could do this for the rest of my life.
Wait,
Like,
that's me and Taylor and her husband.
yeah,
too.
it was basically identical. If she had a house right here, that would be it. Like, you wake up every morning, you water your plants and have coffee together, and then your
Her
dogs
house
run
is
around.
3 doors down. Literally.
I mean,
not next door
it's
without the
made.
fence gone, but it's interesting. It's funny
no,
because
it's
it's literally like your life.
And it was almost,
Oh shit, am I about to name my husband?
it's
I think I already did.
almost a blessing and a curse, because it's like you become so attached to that, and it's so comfortable, and you're just happy.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
So
it's hard to
why
want
would
to like
you want
exit.
to meet anyone?
I'm like,
no,
I'm
unless you
happy.
fit my current life. Like,
Yeah.
so I get, I have a week to decide if I'm going to go on this
To Denver.
date to Denver. And I'm like, he had his travel agent book the flight. And I'm like, I don't think I want to do it. I don't think I want to go.
Oh my god, you
I don't
are
know.
so like this too. You are like,
Yeah.
I
And
know
so-
you now, and you are still the same person that's like, you know what? I don't want to do it.
I don't do it. So I'm like, all my clients and friends are like, you go, you need to go. You're like, you never do anything fun. You're never adventurous. Like, what do you have to lose? I'm like,
Yeah. You're like, you
know
didn't
what?
have
Fuck
an
you
answer.
guys. Fuck you guys. Okay?
You know what? Fuck you guys.
So literally I was like, okay, you know what? I had a girlfriend going through a tough breakup at the time. And I'm like, look, here's the deal. I'm going to come out if I can bring my friend. Like,
Smart.
we'll get our own hotel. But if you're a weirdo, or like if we don't have chemistry, then I'm stuck in Denver. I can't just hop in a car and drive home.
Yeah.
I want to have like a backup plan. We can do like a food crawl weekend. We can go shopping with my girlfriends.
Yeah.
And I have an easy out.
I feel
You
like as a
don't- you don't
dude,
know,
I
like-
would, first of all, you don't know. And if you're listening to this and you're doing some like weird meetup in a different state kind of thing, like you should always have like a
Yeah.
backup plan.
Yeah.
Cause like, I mean, it's not weird because that stuff is so normalized now with the world that we're in with dating online and all this stuff. But like, you should just have, that's smart to have a backup
Yeah.
plan. Also, if I was a dude, I'd be like, it is such a red flag when girls don't have like any friends.
Right.
Like, that's just weird to me.
It's a
Or
problem.
we love the girls. It's like, I just am way better friends with guys because we just
Yeah,
like, it's like
no,
no
honey.
drama, no drama. I'm like, are you sure? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
No, hard pass. This has been the longest storytelling. of how
Welcome to
John
my
and I-
life.
This is like when my mom tells a story, and we're all sitting there at the kitchen
We're
like,
turning into our mothers.
"Fuck, Sharon, get to the point."
I was really hot yesterday and I was like, oh my God, I'm turning into my mother. And also my mom tells stories and I go like this. I go, I love you so much, but like, get to the point.
You are
But-
Sharon.
But it's rude to say that to someone. But
Yeah.
I say it to my mom all the time
Yeah.
and my kids are going to say it to me
We
as well.
just start laughing because she'll go 18 stories around, and then we're like, "Yeah."
But it's interesting. It's more fun when you're engaging with each other. When you're just listening to someone go 18 stories
Yeah.
around, you're like,
You checked
"What?
out 20 minutes
What?"
ago.
Okay, so
But-
I'm still checked in.
Okay.
Everyone listening is checked the fuck in.
Y'all checked in. So
She gonna say the F word again.
I'm gonna say the F word. we fly out. Well, no, back up. We had I bought her ticket. He bought my ticket. I actually tried to cancel.
You're crazy.
So I did. I tried to go in and cancel, and it was like, we're sorry, this flight was booked third party.
What are you
So
gonna
please contact your
say?
travel agent. And I'm like, I don't know, like something came up.
You're crazy.
I don't know.
That's so funny.
I was just like, this is not me. This
Were
is
you
like,
nervous or what? Or were you grossed out? Like, what were you?
I don't know what I was. I think I
were
was
just
just
stuck
like,
in your
I was
routine.
so set in my ways. Like I
Yeah.
was wake up every morning, have the same breakfast, pack my lunch, go to work,
then-
repeat. Like
yeah.
Like
Okay.
I didn't want to break my
Your flow.
You know, it's just that's the dangerous part about being so set in your ways and single for so long and living next to your best friend. You're like,
Yeah.
damn. The night before
Damn.
when I'm packing, the fucking power goes out. And I'm like, it's a sign.
Okay.
Fine, I'm not going. We're done. So sorry, John. I'm not gonna make it. Bummer.
Dead.
So I made it. I got on the plane the next day with my girlfriend. We fly out,
Was
and
she excited?
oh, she was pumped.
Who was it?
Her name was Britton.
Have I met her?
No,
Okay.
I haven't seen her in years.
Oh, okay.
We kind of had a little bit of falling out afterwards.
Oh no. It's
But
a sign. No,
she
kidding.
she ended up marrying the guy I was dating prior to John,
Yikes.
and they had a baby. Hi, Britton.
Hi, Britton.
Hi, girl.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, but she's got a really cute daughter now, and
Oh, that's
I
sweet.
think she's living in like Idaho or Utah or something. And
Dude, she part of mom
Just-
talk.
Mom talk.
She's
definitely not Mormon. I know that for
Okay.
a fact. But no, so we fly out, and she's so fun, and she was sober.
Okay.
But she's one of those.
Dude, are you sure she's not Mormon?
She's one of those sober friends that like she will party in any
Love
any
that.
setting, and you would never know she's not drinking.
Love, yeah.
So she was
Couldn't
a
be
good
me, but
road
love.
buddy. So we fly out there.
Couldn't be me.
We're going to some Blue Moon Brewery. He has this little like radio show, and I'm going in there like, okay, we're gonna say hi. We're gonna have some drinks. Then we're gonna
Get the
go
fuck
eat
out of here.
without them. Good, okay. And so
Savage.
we go back.
If John
like-
was here right now, I feel like he would literally be like,
I feel like
"Oh
he's heard-
really?
Oh yeah,
oh yeah,
How you feel about that now?
oh yeah. How do you think now?
So-
I'm gonna go eat without him." That's what he
We're
would
just
say.
doing like a little meet and greet here with him.
I'm
so
dead.
he sends his tour manager out front to get us. We go backstage, and I kid you not, within 5 minutes of conversation with him, I was like, "Fuck me."
You were like, what did you really like? Were you like, I love him? Or were you like, is this my husband? Or were you like,
I mean,
I
pretty
really
much
like him?
all the things. I was like, "Wow, this humble me summer. This was not what I was expecting."
I love.
Because I mean, no shame or whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I had a type.
Yeah.
Like physically, appearance wise, I was
Totally.
like bad boy, covered in tattoos,
Oh.
facial hair,
Oh.
like the backwards ball cap.
I would love to see your ex-boyfriends. I would just love to see a fucking lineup. Pull up a little, and then
Look at the
John.
little mugshot list.
When
'Cause
I'm dead, and then John.
He was like not at all like cowboy hat. I'm like, I mean, my dad wears a cowboy hat and stuff,
Yeah.
but also I'm not like trying to date my dad.
It's interesting because I have
now
seen
I'm
your
married to my dad.
I was
basically.
gonna say I've seen your dad before,
So-
met your dad before,
Yeah.
wonderful man, and I literally was like, oh, she must have such a good relationship
Yeah.
with her dad because I personally have a great relationship with my dad, and I like people say you
yeah.
you kind of want to date your if you have a good relationship with your
It's-
father, you
this
want
is
to
a
date him,
fact.
and so I
So-
have seen your dad and
Yeah.
your husband, and I thought
I didn't know it was
that's
gonna
what
be
she
as
did,
like that literal.
like
And I'm
they're
like,
copy paste,
Okay.
taller.
Cool.
I
And-
love that. Okay.
But literally, he was so funny and charming
He's
and
hilarious.
handsome, and I'm like, oh, this is why. Literally, my thought was, this is why it didn't work out with any of these douchebag ex boyfriends I had. Like,
Yep.
Because you can't go solely off of like what your type is.
I mean, I don't have a
physically,
type.
like-
I'll just fuck anyone that has a personality.
you
Like
have a type, personality.
personality's my type, baby.
Like you can be so hot on the outside. You can
Yes.
be a perfect 10, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can get real ugly real quick if you don't have a personality. If you're a dick.
Absolutely.
so-
Absolutely. I think like if that's a lesson for anyone, like your type should be like not the whole package, like everyone has to check every box, but I mean like
Yeah,
you
don't-
can't just pick one, you can't check one box with the extra large Sharpie and
don't
forget about
base
the other
it solely
boxes.
off of the high school football jock. Like,
Yeah, if that's-
because the title, or it's like it's a very big thing.
What's interesting too to me is that you ended up with this like awesome, handsome, hilarious, charming, funny, like country music star, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that wasn't my type. Like most people would be like, don't date the country music star just because he's a star celebrity.
Right.
And you're like, no, I want the trash bags covered in tattoos that are like mean to me.
I want
But,
the
like Summer.
I know.
That one wants you over there, and he's just like, he's really great. Okay.
So that's definitely a lesson. Big lesson.
How
because-
soon after that did you get? Obviously he felt the same way.
So yeah, we had the 2 nights there. So that first night, he actually tried to get me to come to his hotel room. He's like, I just want to like talk and cuddle. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I was like,
cool story,
I'm
bro.
there.
So we stayed at the same hotel, but my girlfriend and I had our room, and then he's like, well, I'll walk you guys to your room, and he's like, you sure you don't want to just come like hang out?
I actually
I'm
think,
like,
as much as I make jokes about being a whore on this podcast, which, by the way, double standards, women that have casual sex are not whores.
No.
Men that have casual sex are praised. And I'm not trying to be
Right.
cliche here, but like, this podcast is letting women know if you want to fuck someone, you should fuck someone.
yeah.
And that's the tea. But all I'm saying is, I think it's interesting because if I had been in the same situation, I know I was laughing. I was like, oh, I would have gone to his hotel room. But like, actually, there is something about, and maybe you're like, I didn't care that he was famous, but there's something about a dude that knows he can pull pussy that you're like,
Right.
but not me. You're not
Yeah,
going to get it.
you're not
Like,
gonna
there,
get it.
there's that little air of like, oh, you think you can get anyone you want, don't you? Like
Right.
athletes. Like, I've been known to hold out on an athlete or two because I'm like, oh, you fucking guys think you can
Right.
do whatever you
He's
want.
like, it's dough time.
Yeah, it's dinner time, baby. Daddy's ready to eat. We're like, no. No. Who says that? Nobody says
no,
that. I don't know why I said that.
I'm gonna say it now.
Nobody's ever said that
So-
to me. Jesus Christ.
He's ready
I
to eat.
think I was born a man.
Well,
Damn it.
you
Okay,
know.
anyways. So after that, you said you did not go to his
No,
hotel
I
room.
stayed in my hotel room with my girlfriend, and
Even though Daddy was ready to
he
eat.
was ready to eat. He tried. He's like, "Who's somebody small talk?"
It's my time,
I'm
cuddle.
like, yeah, I'm sure you just want to cuddle.
And now that I know John, I'm like, oh, you want to cuddle?
Yeah, you want to cuddle, baby?
He's always grabbing your ass in the kitchen, which
He's-
I love. Personally, my
he-
parents are still frisky with each other, and that's like,
Yeah.
you love to see it.
I mean, I can't. There's 20 times too many a day that he walks by and he's just like, yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? Like, I'm trying to make some eggs over here and just like, yeah. I'm like, what? Like,
What? What?
But I mean, love him for it. He's like, you'll be sad someday if I didn't do that. I'm like,
That's
this is
true.
fact.
That's
So
true.
Keep on grabbing, bud. So the next day, I had invited him. I had a girlfriend that lived in Denver that her husband was in the military, and she was like, let's get together when you're here. Let's do brunch. Bring John if he wants to come. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I had told him the night before, and I was like, hey, I'm sure you're busy, but tomorrow we're going to have brunch at this place with my girlfriend. If you want to come, great. And he's like, yeah, I have like, interviews and shit. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I just sent him a courtesy reminder the next morning, like, hey, I know you said you're busy, but if for some
you change
reason
your mind.
something changes, like we're leaving at 10. And he's like, I'll meet you in the parking lot. I was like, oh yeah, buddy. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you will. You said, Doug, told me for
So,
some brunch.
We went to brunch, and it was so fun and so just like
Easy.
easy. It wasn't, I was in like
You guys
sweats.
you guys around each other just like seem easy.
And I've never been,
comfortable, just like
No.
happy and just like not forced.
I would like wake up early and go throw on makeup with ex-boyfriends.
Oh,
And
same.
then like get back in bed and you're like,
Same. It's no, oh my god! The amount of times before lash extensions were a thing, like my first boyfriend in Nashville, like I would wake up in the morning, he like as if he probably didn't fucking know. Like girls are like, we're so sneaky. You have a demi lash, you have kiss lash number 11 on your eye, like they
Yeah.
know.
You got
they know.
highlighter on, okay?
My girl. And so, anyways, yeah, I would wake up and I would go reapply, re-glue, whatever, and then I would literally like. And also, there's just something to be said, and I get it. Everyone's on a different journey as far as like natural. I personally feel like I can speak on it because I just was so psycho about makeup, lashes, everything. And then and also ginger. So like cut me a fucking break for a second because I literally had to dye my lashes and eyebrows before I was at this point, and you guys are born with this. But I just like, it's something to be said, and I know it's easier said than done, but like men do actually think you're pretty without makeup
Yeah.
on. Like I know you might not be in a place yet where you're like, I look beautiful without makeup, but most of the time, these men, they really prefer you without it. So like, give it a
that's
whirl.
true.
It's also easier to wake up
It's
and not go
way
reapply your
easier.
demi lash.
I mean, yeah.
So anyways, I mean, I was in the same situation before with
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend. So I feel like you're saying this, like actually the guy that I like hung out with in Spain, like I like took a makeup off before bed. I woke up and I'm just in that state now where I'm like, it is what it is. And if they wake up next to me and are like,
get what you
huh,
get. Yeah.
then I mean,
Sorry.
first of all, fuck. Second of all,
you.
then I shouldn't end up with them, you know?
Right. Yes.
That's not who I don't want someone to wake up next to me when I'm 28 and hot and be like, oh, what the fuck am I going to look like when I'm 50 and wake up in the morning?
It's only gonna get worse.
It's going to be
like
worse.
J-Lo. We need a J-Lo series.
Not the olive oil. So anyways, I've been there with the exes. So like you just said, it wasn't like that at all with John.
It
I
wasn't.
love
It was
that.
so comfortable. We went from brunch to then to the mall. And at the mall, he like asked me if I would be his date to the CMT Awards, which was a month later.
Damn,
And I'm like,
Daddy was hungry.
okay. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if my
Were you
schedule's
secretly
open.
excited? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, let me see if my
Yeah.
schedule's open. You're like,
I'm like,
it's open.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I would love to. And he's like, cool, I'll have my travel agent book your flight. And I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Damn.
So we ended up leaving that weekend. Also, might I add, John is the ultimate hype guy, not only for me, but like all my girlfriends. He will compliment you.
We will resurface the
Like-
trough story, guys. The man was gonna go to Tractor Supply to get me a trough because I said I
Yeah.
wanted it for an Instagram
One
photo.
fucking an Instagram post, man.
Summer literally was like, the trough isn't big enough. He was like, the trough isn't big enough. I was like,
But
it
I'll
could
get you
be.
one.
And then he literally was like, I'll walk you out there and show you. He, you know, it was not a close walk. We
No.
walked all the way down. He showed me. And then whenever I was like, oh my God, you guys were so right. It's way too small. He goes, he looks up what time
what
Tractor
Tractor
Supply
Supply.
closes, if he could still make the Yellowstone premiere of what time, and was gonna go buy me a trough because he was like, fuck it up,
She
ladies.
wants her picture.
Anytime we ask him to take a photo of us, he's like, oh, y'all looking sexy as hell. Like,
Yeah.
it's a dream.
Ultimate hype guy.
It's he is literally in the least sexual, offensive, or inappropriate
Yeah.
way. He is the most hype guy for me, for Beck, for
Yeah.
everyone. He's
Literally.
like, if we talk about some dude that's doing us dirty, he's like, fuck
that.
him. Fuck that.
you don't
fucking-
need him. You're too hot.
You too hot for him. He insecure because you too hot. I'm like, John, I love you. That's how Taylor's husband Mike is as well. I think
best. I love
I
them.
somehow have surrounded myself with friends whose husbands are like that, which is great, ladies.
is.
And I'm like, they're all so secure and like
Yeah.
like complimentary, and it's unreal. It's amazing.
It's
so
what
we
you
love
need.
John for being the
Like,
hype man.
as I'm leaving the bus, so he was sitting on the bus. So that second night, he had a concert at Grizzly Rose. So we go there. We're hanging on the bus with my friends. He invited my friends from brunch to the concert.
Sweet.
And
Also, always loves to have your friends around.
Yes.
I'm always like, I don't want to intrude. You're like, literally, John told me to bring all my friends, and I'm like, are you sure?
the more the merrier.
So wonderful.
So we're getting off the bus because they had to leave. They had to roll out at 1 a.m. or whatever time it was. So I'm walking off the bus, and he's like, man, I like that you thick, girl. And I was like,
Hold on, wait.
the fuck?
He said what?
I like that you a thick girl.
I like that you.
And I was like,
Damn, I have
Okay.
dreams of someone saying that to me.
like, from someone, you know, from every girl, I feel like knows, you know, the body image things. Like one day you want to be skinnier, the next day you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I want to be curvier, and then I want boobs, and I want a flat chest, and I want this.
Oh, everyone wants what they don't have, first
Right.
of all. Everyone says this, and then you even, I'm like, the generation I grew up in is the Kim Kardashian, and I literally look like fucking Gumby. I'm like, oh, no one would ever call me thick. But I mean, I have friends that I literally, like you, that I'm like, oh my God, I would die.
Right.
Literally, I would murder someone and then myself die to have her body. I would come back and then die again to have her body.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because you say that you just want what you don't have.
It's the same.
You
Like,
do.
yeah, my best friend, she's 100 pounds, and to me, she's the perfect looking human, like face, body, hair, everything. And I'm like, I want to be Allie.
And
And then
she's
she's
like-
always like, I want to be your height because she's 5 foot or something, or 5'2".
Allie does have
She's like,
such a cute
yes,
body too.
so cute. And but then she's like, I want to be more like you, and I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
So
I used to cry because I don't have an ass or a titty. Like I
It's-
literally like
right,
this is
it's like,
my whole life.
why do we all want what we don't have? Why
We
can't
are
we just
all
be happy?
Oh, women are fucked up in the head, and it's society that's done it to us. So fuck you. If you're
So-
watching this, you're a part of society. Fuck you. I'm a part of society. Fuck me. But like, we suck.
yeah, and that was
I want to be an alien.
yeah,
Germ. I want to be a germ.
I mean,
just
I'm
floating in
sure
the air,
at some point we will be, but
reaching inside of someone's nose, just wreaking havoc and being like, bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm a germ.
It's
Fuck you.
me.
It's me, the round germ.
the what'd you call Kellyanne? The Southern rat.
It's me, the southern
Me,
rat.
the
you
Southern
know.
rat. So
The next strand of COVID, the southern rat.
it's not the monkeypox anymore.
God, when I was in Spain, my parents called me and were like, "Have you heard about the monkeypox?" I was like, "I can't
God.
discuss anything right now."
You're
that's
like
not
the Monkey
potatoes
Pod
and
restaurant in
cheese."
Maui. Love it there. I love it there.
It's
Let's
amazing.
go. So literally, he said, he's like,
I like that you a thick girl.
and I'm just like, okay. And I'm just like, Okay, cool. I mean, yeah, me too.
Someone told me they liked that I had a flat ass. I'd be like, fuck off. Even if they were like, I like it, I'd be like, fuck you.
So he's just like, you know what I mean? Like, you thick, like, you got curves. You're not afraid to, like, you know, wear those tight pants with your curves. And I'm just like, well, shit, I'll take it. It's great.
I'll take it.
So he rolls out that, he's like waving out the bus window. And I'm like, bye.
Bye.
And I got to catch a flight the next morning. That's kind of where that story ends. But then literally we were texting for 4 days straight. And we had 29 days before we see each other again for CMT Awards.
Okay.
It lasted 4 days. I flew to Oklahoma or Nebraska. He was opening for Tim and Faith. And
Iconic.
so, yeah, there was a 4-day gap where then I flew out and then I stayed for like a week.
And again,
rode the bus.
Easy, just, the beginning of bus life.
Bus life. He had one bus at the time with like 12 guys. But this particular weekend, there was only 2 guys. It was an acoustic set. So it was nice. I was like, oh, this is nice.
You're like the life of luxury. He's like, next time there'll be
Wow.
12.
Yeah, don't do too comfortable here. Okay. So we go back to Nashville. And that was my first like weekend being spent, you know, sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah.
Like actually getting a kiss. And I remember being so nervous.
When you were in Colorado, y'all didn't even kiss?
No.
Really?
I think he snuck a kiss in when I was leaving.
What? But like a peck.
Yeah.
Wow.
He tried.
Wow.
But they had to go.
Okay.
That's
And
how we
then-
met.
and then the
guys.
rest is history.
45 hours later.
I'm literally looking at the timestamp. It says 48 minutes. Perfect.
Now 5 years later, we're married.
I love
with 46
this.
animals. So.
With 46 animals who are amazing. They have so many cows and
Love
chickens
them.
and birds and doggies. This is a fun fact. I thought one of their dogs' names was Butters. You guys, I don't know
Butters.
why. What's it? Charlie, right?
Charlie.
It's a pug.
It's a French bulldog. Ew. No offense to pugs.
Am I ever alive when I'm at your house? I don't know. No offense to pugs, but yeah, no, sorry. French bulldog, and its name is Charlie.
She's a little bitch.
She's a girl, even though she definitely acts like a little boy.
Yeah.
And I thought her name was
tomboy.
Butters. I
mean,
don't
it
know where I
works.
got that from.
She looks like a little stick of butter.
She little stick of
So-
butter, and I just always call her Butters now. You then, like the rest is history. We obviously know beautiful wedding. I wasn't invited personally, but
Well,
I
you
didn't know
know,
them then.
Sorry.
Butters was there and
So
I
sorry.
wasn't. No, I didn't know them then, but it was fabulous.
Yes.
And you created this beautiful life, and now you're on the road all the time, which I feel so fortunate, and lucky to be like included in at times. Stagecoach was iconic. Loved
fun.
every second of it.
a good
Someone
time.
asked us like, someone was like, "What's y'all's favorite memory?" And I was like, I love. So it's hard because I'm like. These memories immediately pop up where I'm like, Stagecoach, we're backstage, we're in the bus, it's all this fun
Yeah.
stuff. But then, like, I have to say, like, I think my favorite memories are when it's like me, you, and Beck, and we're just like sprawled out
Yeah, on the
watching
couch.
what's the fucking guy, Presley,
Caleb Presley.
Caleb Presley
Oh my God.
videos on your TV.
Just not even talking to each other. We're just laying in the living room like.
We are no one speaking to each other. This is the notion of true friendship. No one speaking to each other. Me, Beck, and Summer are all just sitting there with triple, quadruple chins. We're like have
Smeared
like,
makeup from the night
smeared
before.
makeup and Taco Bell, and we're like,
Yeah.
this guy's funny.
Did you guys hear that? That was a good.
One of us will just like let out a laugh or a fart, and then we're just like, this is funny. So
Carry on.
like, I'm gonna be honest, like those are my favorite memories.
That is the best. Though. Like that's when you know you have a good friendship is when you don't have to speak.
No, when
Like-
silence is comfortable,
Yeah.
you're in
You're
relationships,
not entertaining each other
or friendships. Yeah,
Yes.
lay there and be silent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then began your road life, and I mean, I have to just say because I do a questionnaire every time I have a guest, where I'm like, "What do you want to know?" And it's funny because like all the time I have guests on, usually I know them well. I feel like moving forward, I'll have some guests that I don't know super well, so the questionnaires will be super important. But it's funny when you have an actual really good friend on, and you're like, "I already know the answer to that. I already know the answer to that."
Next, I can answer for her.
I'll answer for Summer. Everyone already knows I love to interrupt, so I'll answer for her. No, okay, so people were very curious. So, like, how does she, which is just, I think if I wasn't friends with someone that had, like, a celebrity husband, I would be like, which you're a celebrity in your own right, FY motherfucking I. But a lot of people are like, how does she deal with, like, random girls slash, you know, just, like, the girls that don't know the barrier between marriage and
Right.
not, or the girls who are like, I can get him, or what, there are girls out there like
There
that.
are
If you're
many
listening,
girls.
fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck
and
you. Fuck you. And you, and you, and you, and you.
And
No,
you.
but like really, they're just, I mean, they be girls out there like that. So do you
Yeah.
deal with that? Because it's immediately, I was like, I'll answer for her. I was like,
I know.
I know. Is this thing on? I know. Because it's funny because you are so chill, you're so relaxed, and you're so secure in yourself that it's funny because I have seen several times, and like I low-key am the same way in the sense that I think this is hilarious. There are women at the shows who will literally like lift their shirts up and flash, like they'll be on someone's shoulders and they'll literally flash, like women's from all walks of life, all ages will like
titties you do want to see and titties you don't want to see.
Some titties you love seeing, some titties you're like, wow, brave. Nothing. Yeah, no. Actually, one time someone commented on my Instagram photo and said it was a bikini photo, and they said it was. I know for a fact they were trying to be nice, and they said I was brave.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
look, I'm like fidgeting with my hand. I'm like,
thanks.
yeah. They said I was brave. I was like, top. I would say 2 words you don't want to hear when you're photographed in bikini.
No.
Brave.
Yeah, no.
Brave.
It's not
Just
really
brave.
a vote of confidence.
I don't want to be brave.
So.
I don't want to be in a bikini and be brave. Anyways, it's just funny because I'm like, you always, and I have seen some just straight up hot ass girls flashing John, and you're always videoing it and sending it in the group, like laughing, like it's
half
amazing.
the time he doesn't see it, and I'm like, did you see that? And he's like, see what? I'm like,
people were like, you missed out on some titties.
But you know when they're gonna do it because and a lot of times they're on their boyfriend's shoulders.
I know.
I'm like, is he cool with that? Does he know you're doing that?
We're
down
tapping
there?
him on the shoulder. Excuse me, sir.
Hey, bro.
But it's
check your chick. She's up.
Check your chick's titties. They right up there. But it's funny because they are always on a dude's shoulders.
Yes. And I'm like, hey, whatever.
So what do you do? Like,
more power to you.
Outside of those those obviously seem pretty harmless. I don't think John's gonna crowd surf to get to the titties on the shoulders.
No, he's got a.
He's got a
set. He's got a solid set at home.
He's got
waiting on the bus after the show.
Solid set back at home. But what do you do or have you even ever dealt with a girl that's like genuinely just trying to cross the line?
Oh
yes.
My God.
I actually have never asked you this.
Many times.
Okay,
because we used to have like back when we were first dating.
Because y'all weren't married out. Okay,
right.
duh.
So like
I only have known y'all married.
My whole life with John has been on the road. Like everyone's like, oh, how do you know what he's doing when you're not there? And I'm like, bitch, I'm always there.
I'm there, motherfuckers.
Like,
did his
I'm
management
pretty much always there.
Is this? Am I allowed to ask this? Did his management ever do that thing where like they're like, we need to let him appear single for a while? Yes.
Yes,
okay.
because of his psychotic former girlfriend. They wouldn't let her do red carpet stuff. Like she was banned
because
from all
she was
things.
a flight risk.
She was a yes. Flight risk is plight. So they were like traumatized. I mean, they were equally as traumatized. They were like, we don't trust. and you just see me and I'm not, little Miss Jane next door, like with her modest muumuu outfit.
Oh my God. Literally like, me at all times. I walk in, even in New York, everyone dresses so high fashion. I'm like, here's my titties and asshole. Right. What's up? I can literally watch girls look at me and be like, trash. And I'm like, me. Fun.
Fun. Fuck yeah.
Fun.
So they were assuming that I was like just this next psycho bimbo, blonde hair with big tits. And I'm like,
I love that you beat the stigma, baby. It's me. I'm wonderful. But now you are so wholesome, actually.
Now I'm pretty sure they've all told me like, hey, if anything ever happens, heaven forbid, like we're on your team. I'm like, thank you. Thank you so much. John's like, you know what, guys? That's really fucked up, but I get it. Like, everybody loves summer.
I literally can see him saying,
we just had this conversation like a week ago. He's literally like, everyone just wants to see summer. And I'm like, well, you should be proud. But
fun.
We've literally had girls like
your name, by the way. Let's just talk about your iconic name. Her name is Summer Pardi. Her name is Summer Pardi.
Summer Fun Party. It should be Summer Fun Party, but
come on, it's like iconic.
If only the government would let me legally change it, that would be nice.
Why won't they let you legally change it?
I don't know. They denied it. So
does it seem fake?
When we were on our
like,
honeymoon,
you're a porn star.
Right, they're like, nice try, fucking ginger sparkles. Okay, I'm like, we were on our honeymoon and they booked it under.
They're like, nice try, Summer Party.
Cool. Oh, cool. Oh, you spelled it a little different. Yeah, can't pass that one by. I'm like, they literally denied it. And I'm like,
I have not. This is the smallest amount of alcohol I've ever drank. This is nice try.
I literally, Johnson's manager was like, yeah, it came back and they denied it.
Someone do something?
I'm like, oh, okay. So now like our travel agent booked
stuff
has to
be tickled
under my name. And so like our honeymoon, we're in Cabo and they're like, oh, Mr. Duncan. And he's like, the fuck? You gonna change your name? I was like, well,
that is rich.
So I have to retry changing the name, but
I never knew that.
yeah.
Oh my God, your dog Butters would have an easier time.
Butter
Butters.
Hey, my name is Butter Party.
Okay, so girls in the beginning.
Hoes on the road.
Okay,
Hoes
so back to
on the
hoes.
road.
We're circling around the cul-de-sac and we're going back to hoes on the road.
on the road. There, we were in Canada at one point in time, back before COVID. This bitch climbed the chain link fence and was like, "I'll suck your dick," and I'm like,
Does she think
why
she's
though?
attractive?
Like, why? You're there was like this green mesh covering over this chain link fence, like blocking the stage, and she's literally screaming that she wants to suck his dick, and I'm like, what does that do for you? First off, like,
Well, everyone that listens to this podcast knows I ain't sucking no dick to completion.
I'm like,
so I'm definitely
like,
confused.
I mean, I guess A for effort to get backstage, but then if you say that, you gotta.
Do you?
I don't know.
Suck
like,
a dick to completion, and nobody
like,
wants to do
no.
that. Do you think? Do you think that like there are men? Well, I don't know why I'm asking this. Duh. I was gonna say, do you think there are
answer is
men
yes.
out there that would be like perfect, but like,
Oh
yeah,
100%.
they're like,
I'm
her.
sure John, prior to dating me, had his fair share of. I mean,
Yeah.
actually, I know he's told me stories, and I'm like, wow, thanks for sharing,
Thanks.
babe.
Babe,
Then
I
he's like,
love when you share your
told me
fun
your stories. I'm like, no, I like to keep those secret because there was one point that like vividly sticks out. We were again like this is what I think why John and I hit it off so well is he's so outgoing and I'm very much chill, like
You're
very
chill, yeah.
So we balance each other out well. He always likes to have a party, and back to him being the ultimate hype guy, a lot of times these girls mistake his like compliments and flirtiness for
Totally.
like, hey baby.
Oh, you're like,
And I'm
oh,
like,
God.
oh, he was just being polite.
He was
and
just
like,
being nice. And also, here's the thing, too. Like, even if a married man, I'm just like, I don't know if this is the southern rat in me, but like, even if a married man was being inappropriate, I'm not turned on by that at
Right,
all. I'm like,
right.
and
A
I know
normal,
John, so I
sane
know
woman.
he's actually being a hype man. And I'm like, any girl that takes that the wrong way is really reaching, I'd say.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, also fuck the girls out there that are like, he came on to me. I'm like, you knew he was married.
Right.
No.
The worst part was
No.
when we finally got engaged, I swear to God, it was like game on. Like they came out.
Ew.
And they're like, oh, he's taken now?
Ew.
Oh, now it's even like
This is why I want
I'm
to
like,
gatekeep any guy I've ever talked to.
It's
I
horrible.
swear.
Like,
Why the fuck?
the DMs on Instagram be like naked pictures and like, you know, call me when your wife's not around. I'm like, bitch, are you even fucking 18? Like, do your
Yeah.
parents know what you're doing?
What the
Gross. Like,
fuck?
he had Snapchat when we first met, and I was like, oh, hell
Red
no.
Red
Hell
flag.
no.
Red
I remember
flag.
this girl, he was like, he opened it up, and this girl's butt naked in front of her, like, floor standing mirror, and she's facing backwards, bouncing. And I'm
video
like-
just bouncing her
Yeah,
ass?
and I'm like, and she looked like she was all of 12. I'm like, that is just really fucking gross.
What the fuck?
No. So John's like, we deleted Snapchat. He's like, he makes jokes about it on the stage after. He's like, people have their phones out, and he's like,
With
oh
the
wait, he goes,
barcode?
that's Snapchat. He goes, nuh-uh. I got in trouble. We can't be doing that.
We can't be on Snapchat. I love John is like, no, no, no. No.
Like, you pretty no. But
You're pretty, but no.
literally, there was one night when we were all, I think we were still all on one bus, the 12 guys and me. And I mean, the guys were like, some of the guys were single. So,
Totally.
You know,
and you are a great wing woman too.
yeah, like I want to have fun backstage dancing. And like, so, you know, if
You
some of
are
these
not,
guys,
you are not the girl. I've been in this world for a long time. You are not the girl at all. Nothing wrong if you are this girl. I really don't mean to throw shade at all, because some girls
No.
are like, I have the time or desire for it. But you are 100% not the girl who'd be like, who are these fucking biddies backstage?
Right.
You are always. I mean,
I
if they
might
were doing
think
something
it.
outlandish or outrageous, you're like, someone get their fucking girl.
right, if you're out running around bouncing around topless at the backstage bar, like,
Right, but you are very cool.
security.
Security. But you are super, super chill. Like, I've
Yeah.
been backstage and been like, who are all these people? And you're like, I don't know. Girls that came back for the guys. Like,
honestly, you can't really control that. John could be that guy that's like,
that's not fun.
no, like, nobody can bring friends, nobody can have family or girlfriends, because that's the thing is, half the time, you know, these band guys are bringing back the girls because they're their girlfriend or their girlfriend and her friends or whatever, or
Totally,
some
yeah.
girl they just met in the pit. I don't know, but they
You're
can
like-
have their fun.
Yeah.
Like, I know what John and I are doing.
Right. So you're like, have your fun, keep it down,
you know,
like, like keep the volume down and you're good.
Right.
You guys are very. I've seen some shit where I'm like, I would be saying something, and Summer's just like, it is what it is.
Take your battle.
Yeah, totally. You're really cool like that.
We were on the bus, and John always likes to play DJ, so he's sitting in the corner.
He's a good DJ.
DJing, and I went in the bathroom and I came out, and there were these two girls on the bus that were with the band guys, and then somehow one of these girls ventured over towards John, and she just literally like bent over, like trying to shake her butt that I'm sorry to say this, but she didn't have it. She had a flat butt.
I'm like, ugh.
Shots fired. But
no, but it's
she's
funny because
literally
like,
bent over.
Let me just say, I would never. I would never put myself in a position for a girl with a great ass look at me and be like, bless her heart.
I'm like,
I would never.
I started laughing because John's like sitting, he's just like
I
on
know
his
my
phone,
place.
trying to like find the playlist, and he looks at me and he goes, I don't know, I didn't do anything. And I'm literally laughing, and I walk up and I said, honey, like, no, go, whoever brought you up here, go back to that person. And then she
still weren't even
she
like,
tries
get off.
to take my top down. I was like,
what?
What the fuck?
She was like, am I gonna have a threesome with the parties?
I don't even know if she was like fully there, if she was so drunk that she was just like,
she's like, this is my way
what's
out.
next?
Hee hee.
Like, I just laughed, and I'm like, oh my God, these girls, these poor
You're like,
things.
these
like,
fucking girls.
I don't know, but there is definitely no shortage of little hoes backstage or trying to get backstage. And then if they ever do get backstage, then they want to like talk shit because they didn't get to fuck John. Excuse my language. Sorry.
Again.
I'm not going to apologize for that anymore. I'm like, what did you expect?
What did you expect? He's married.
Sorry.
I just
Sorry
can't.
you got, someone lower on the totem pole or whatever I don't know that.
Whatever
like,
that is.
Love
like,
all of our people, but
relax. Yeah.
Like,
I really do think it's funny because me and Summer are, I would say, generally speaking, pretty well talked about on Reddit pages about this.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this last part of the podcast are just going to love
Oh
talking
my
about
God.
the hoes on the road.
Okay.
They're going to be like, well, maybe if she wouldn't be blah, blah, blah. I mean, blah, 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 blah. It's like, fucking relax. Okay, so I just briefly, I feel like you do a really good job. Anytime I ever am like, oh God, fucking Reddit, you always say to me, you're like, get off that shit. Like, don't look at that shit. And I'm always like, it's like if you're crying and someone's like, don't be sad. You're like,
okay.
well, now I'm all better.
Cheers.
Okay. But you do such a good job at just being like, fuck this. Because like, I mean, I look at it every once in a while and they're just brutal about both of us. Like, you really are so... And if this podcast could be anything, and I'm sure the fucking Reddit trolls are listening, and it's so funny to me. I love when me also, they're right. Like, I look at it sometimes, and sometimes they're like, I know you're looking at this. Hi, Shannon. And I'm like okay.
Hi.
And I'm always like reading it like, hi. Like, I am looking at it.
Like,
I am.
It's me.
I have moments of insecurity. I for sure do.
I'm a human.
Absolutely. But it's interesting because I'm like, you guys are obsessed with our lives. And while in a way, I'm happy because it's literally how I make a living. And I have 1 trillion million. Okay, I don't have that many people. I don't at all. I have
5 billion
I have 5 billion followers. I feel so happy and secure because the people that love me so deeply and
Genuinely,
truly.
yeah.
But it's like, of course, because I'm only human, like the people that are mean to me, they seem louder in my head sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes I'm like, fuck those losers behind a keyboard.
I
But
think it's
sometimes
just, like, the human nature, human whatever emotions is. I never even knew what Reddit was.
Totally.
And my girlfriend
either.
sent me an article. I had posted a picture when John and I got married. We were like drunk in a hotel room and we took a picture of my ass on the window. And
Love
I
that
was
photo.
like, I was in a sweatshirt and a swimsuit.
I love that
like
photo.
bottoms. And I'm like, oh my, and they're like, oh, you fucking whore. It's so embarrassing. I feel so bad for John. I'm like, bitch, John
John
took
took
this.
it and loves it and was like, post it, baby. Ultimate hype man.
But I never knew what Reddit was until my girlfriend sent me the article and she was laughing like, but then I read it.
That's how I found out, by the way. Someone was like, oh my God, they're obsessed with you. And I was like, oh my God, I'm spiraling. Like, and it's
It's
something,
fucking dark.
It's dark. And I wish I didn't know
It
about it.
is
I wish
dark.
I wish there was some way like I could be blocked from it. I wish like the certain page, whatever it is, the
Right.
celebs, Nashville, whatever. Also, I'm like, I'm not a Nashville wife. Why am I in this page? I'm
You're
no
a sister wife, right?
Damn it. But it's interesting because I do wish in a way like if it would go private or something and I wouldn't have access to it because listen,
Right.
my Reddit name on Reddit is Shannon Noel Ford. If I ever accidentally like or comment something, it is going to say Shannon Noel Ford.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically all I'm saying is like I wish I didn't have access to this page because it's dark.
It's
and
addicting.
it's addicting to see what others think about you
Yeah.
sometimes. And And I mean, yeah, all I have to say about that is you do a really good job. And I think it's interesting when people are like, hi, Shannon, hi, Summer. And I'm like, you guys are writing about us. Like, what do you think is going to happen? I'm not Beyonce. I'm not J-Lo. I have time on my hands.
Right.
I have so much time. Okay.
So much, but so little time, but just enough.
Just enough. Like, I don't know. I just think it's like,
I can't. Like, John gets mad at me if I go in and read comments because I'll fire back occasionally, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Why?" Why do you care? And I'm like, I don't. I just have idle time, and it's just funny.
sometimes when I respond back on Instagram, I think they're funny.
I think
but like, yeah,
I
mine
love
are
it.
funny.
That's
what was
my-
that one guy that was like, if only you didn't talk about alcohol, whatever, you would be so much more
Oh.
attractive to be dated and da da da. And I wrote back and I was like, damn, it was like an older dude on Instagram. I was like, damn, I really wanted to date you.
Yeah,
I'm
shit.
fucked.
Let me go to
But
bed forward and
I'm
hit you
very
back.
impressed by you. Anyone that like reads or writes on Reddit or whatever and writes nasty things, just know that I'm just insecure enough that I check and it bothers me every once in a while. Summer, you're not fucking penetrating her mental state. This bitch is solid.
I can honestly say I haven't looked at Reddit since the first time that article was
You
sent to
are-
me, and
you
that was
really-
2020.
And I'm telling you right now, I would be like, but you look at it sometimes. She
Yeah.
does not.
No.
If I ever bring it up, she's like, why do you look at that shit? Like, she is.
It's so
listen,
fucking bad.
thick with two C's on that confidence. No, you kill it. And I'm just, I like to learn from you on that. And then we're going to close out with talking about one more thick plate, the party plates, because you
top
be
question of the
making that
day.
good. You be making that good food.
Mm-hmm.
So she's an incredible cook, highly renowned dish, cowboy crack. We love.
Just very intricate.
It's an incredible
detailed
dish.
food.
And yeah, I feel like you starting it back anytime soon, or what are we doing? We're coming up with new ones.
Yeah, I need to. I was really hot on it with COVID because we had time home.
And you guys, they have like a shop with like your
Yeah.
own kitchen to
So
like
we have like
film
the
in.
shop kitchen that has, everyone's like, oh my God, is your kitchen in your garage?
And you're like,
I'm
no.
like, well,
John
I mean,
Pardi would never survive if y'all's kitchen was in the garage.
there are cars parked in there, but now we have a shop with a kitchen that
Yeah.
we didn't intend on having party plates, never thought it was gonna be a thing, never planned on filming it there, but it just worked out.
You're really good at being like the person. I'm a big recipe girl, and if I've done a recipe 100 times, I can eyeball stuff. But like
Right.
for the most part, I'm a recipe girl. You're such a like
it.
actual good cook in the sense that you can just like do a little this, do a little
That's
that.
where I fall short with party plates though, is like I'll make up some shit recipe and
you're
then
like,
I'm
"Fuck, I
like,
don't know what it
damn,
was."
that was good, but I don't know what I did.
I don't know what I did.
I'm like, so I think it was like 3 cups of chicken broth.
Damn, that's like an actual good cook. Okay, well, I look
Okay.
forward to more party plates and more of you. I love you. This is a long episode, but easy to do
Okay.
with someone like you. I love you.
It's been fun.
I actually do love you so much. Summer. Okay, we will see you guys later. I love you. Mwah.
Bye.